Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Alexis, Mary, and Z, for the lovely welcome. And I'm Happy New Year to everyone too. And here we are. And thank you so much for joining us and me this morning for our Mindful Monday. So thank you for making the time and for being here with us. So the most important thing is that you're comfortable. I always like to say there is no right way or wrong way. There's only your way. And whether you're seated or whether you're lying down for our practice together is your personal choice and preference, what is more comfortable for you. Because I'm seated, and so I will maybe guide some of the exercises, based on the seated position. So, but if I do, and if you're lying down, then just feel free to modify as you see fit. So there is always room for flexibility. That's I just wanted to mention that. And as we just get settled in, just take a moment to check in with yourself. Ask yourself, where is my mind now? How am I feeling now? And if your mind is full, I love the play on words between, mind and then the word full and then the word mindful. So if your mind is full, just take a moment and just to see, what you can put on the mental pause button, what you can put on, what you can put on the shelf for now or on the table that you can get back to after our time together, just to free yourself up if you need to. I'm somebody who likes to write lists, but sometimes if you can't do the list, then I just put it on a mental shelf or a mental table. So I'm giving you a few moments to do that. And then maybe it helps, and because we see this in everyday life, and I always like to go back to the basics, there is a stop sign in our daily lives that we encounter every day. So just visualize a stop sign right now and just, come to a stop with everything that you're doing and just taking this time to stop, to take a breath, again, to observe what's going on in your mind right now without any judgment. So that we can then proceed with our practice. And as we start with our practice together, I always like to start with the basics and the 5 senses. So I invite you to identify 5 things that you can see in your environment where you are right now that you're grateful for or that bring you joy. Just identify 5 different items, 5 different things in your environment, in your surrounding that you're grateful for or that bring you joy. And just taking a moment to really stay with each item just for a few moments, taking the sight in, noticing, maybe reminding yourself why you're grateful for this particular item or why this item brings you joy. Something that you can use as an anchor point to bring your focus back to during our time together today or throughout your day, It's always good to have these resting points, these anchor points for yourself if you just need to. So now, after you have identified those 5 things that you can connect through the sense of sight, we're now going to the sense of touch. And I invite you to find 4 different kinds of textures or surfaces that you can touch. And just stay with this texture, with this surface, each of them, and just notice, the difference, how they're feeling, the temperature, the soft, a little bit rough, does it feel cool? And just, does it feel pleasant? Is it comforting? And just find those 4 surfaces and textures that you can connect with through the sense of touch. And if you find one that feels especially comforting or inviting, then just stay there for a moment. And just bringing your attention and your focus to that surface, to that texture. Noticing how every finger feels, connecting to that surface or texture. Bringing the attention to your palms. I'm just staying there for a moment. Really connecting with the sense of touch. Now we're going to move to the sense of hearing. And just in your environment, identify 3 sounds that you can hear. Choose the one that is the most pleasant for you, or the most calming, or the most comforting, and focus on that one particular sound. And just staying with that sound for a little bit longer. As we now move to the sense of scent and smell. What are 2 different kinds of sense or smell that you can identify right now in your environment? Choose one that you find enjoyable and pleasant. Maybe also taking a moment to feel how the air feels as it is coming in into your nose. Maybe finding 1 or 2 words that describe that particular scent or smell that you chose. And then turning to our last sense, the sense of taste. And just identify that particular taste and that you can taste right now. And out of these 5 senses, the sight, the touch, the hearing, the smell, and the taste, identify one that you would like to use as your focus point for a time together if you need to return to it to ground yourself in the here and now or later in the day. It's always good to have something to return to. And if you haven't done so already, and if you would like, you can close your eyes as we're now going to a breathing exercise. But if you choose not to close your eyes, that's totally okay. Just choose a soft gaze. Instead, I like to close my eyes because it helps me to go inwards and to focus. And just take a moment now to connect with your body, how your body is feeling in this moment. If there's anything that you can readjust to make yourself a little bit more comfortable. If you're seated, you can bring your attention now to your right foot and how it is connected to the ground. Bringing your attention to your right heel and its connection to the ground, the floor. And very slowly and gently bringing your attention to your right little toe as it is connected to the ground and to the floor. And then bringing your attention and your focus to your big toe, to your right big toe, as it is connected to the ground and to the floor. Now, if you're seated, bringing your attention to your left foot and its connection to the ground and to the floor. Taking a moment to bring your focus to your left heel as it is connected to the floor. And on the next breath, bringing your focus and your attention to your little left toe on the floor and its connection to the ground. And then bringing your focus and your attention to your left big toe and its connection to the ground. Slowly bringing your awareness to your shins. Taking a moment to feel the texture of your clothing. and how it touches your skin. Bringing the focus slowly and gently now to your knees. Feeling the texture and the fabric of your clothing or your blanket on your skin there. Bringing your attention and focus to your thighs and how they're supporting you, whether you're seated or lying down. Bringing the focus and attention to the back of your back and how it is supporting you. Bringing your focus now to your shoulders. And just imagining that they're hanging loosely by your side. Or they're resting there like a coat on a coat rack, reducing the muscular tension. Dropping the shoulds for now. As you're bringing your focus now to your jaw. And maybe you would like to open your mouth just a little bit so that you have a little bit of space between the back of your teeth and just notice the difference in your neck muscles and your shoulder muscles. Your hands, if you don't know what to do with them, they can rest if you're lying down next to you, or if you're lying down and seated, you can place them on your thighs or on your stomach, whatever feels comfortable for you. Comfortable and soft. Now let's take a moment to connect with your breath and just observe the gentle in and out of your breathing. Are you breathing in through the nose or through the mouth? Where does the air travel? And as you do so, maybe reminding yourself that every inhale is an invitation to receive oxygen and support. And every exhale is an invitation to release, to let go, and to create more space in your system for all the oxygen, all the support to come in you and to flow within. And that's why I invite you to make the exhales longer than the inhales. And if it helps, I invite you to breathe in through your nose, slowly and deeply, following the air as it comes in through your nose, travels down your throat, into your chest, all the way down into your belly. and into your lower abdomen. And then exhale. And as you're breathing in, you can count slowly to 5. The air is coming in through your nose, traveling down your throat, into your chest, all the way down into your lower abdomen. And then exhale to the count of 6 or 7 or more. And just find your own rhythm, what works for you. So you're inhaling slowly and gently to the count of 5. And exhaling generously to the count of 6 or 7 or more. And I'm going to be quiet now so that we can practice this together for 10 cycles. Making the next cycle the last one. Now letting go of the counting. And just noticing the rising and falling of your chest and of your belly as you're inhaling and exhaling. If you like, you can include the element of touch by placing your hands next to each other, either on your belly or on your chest, whatever you feel called to do. Making your hands the focus point. And just noticing the gentle rising and falling of your body underneath your hands with every breath that you're taking. Feeling the texture of your clothing or your skin underneath your palms and your fingers. Noticing the temperature, sense of warmth maybe underneath your hands and your fingers. Bringing your attention to the back of your hands. Or you can maybe even feel the air move. And just staying with your hands where they are for a little bit longer. Keeping them where they are now or moving them wherever they feel comfortable for you. As we're bringing back your focus to your breath, as we now pair words to each breath, using the word I for every inhale and using the word am for the exhale. Inhaling to I, exhaling to am. And let's repeat this 3 times. Inhaling to I, exhaling to am. Now adding in 2 more words. Here and now. As you're inhaling to I, exhaling to am, inhaling to here, exhaling to now. So the sense of the sentences, I am here now. Pairing your inhale to the word I. Pairing your exhale to the word am. Pairing the next inhale to the word here. And then pairing the next exhale to the word now. I am here now. And just find your own rhythm, playing with that. And if you mix it up, that's okay too. I am here now. And I'm going to be quiet for a few moments so that you can practice this without any distraction. Now, letting go of these words. And from the space of a deepened sense of presence, let's return to the anchor point that you selected at the time at the beginning of our practice together. The visual that you chose, or the touch, the texture, the sound, the scent, the taste. Just reconnect with what you chose. And spend a few moments with it. Observe, describe this object, this texture, surface, sound, scent, or taste. Tuning into the sensation of how connecting with this object, texture or sound or smell or taste makes you feel. Connecting with all the kind of different sensations that may arise for you. And just staying present. Maybe it brings a smile to your face. And if it does, then share that smile with yourself. Staying there just for a little bit longer. Slowly letting go of this. And if you haven't done so already, slowly and gently opening your eyes. As I now invite you to connect with 5 different items or objects in your environment that bring you joy. Just connect with those 5 items. If it's something that you can touch, take it into your hands. And just take a moment to be really present with that object or item and just like notice the texture, the structure, the colors. How your hands feel as you connect with that item. The inside of your hands, the outside of your hands. If you're slowing down, maybe you can even feel the air move on your skin. And just staying there for a moment longer. Now letting go of this item. Object. And if we were together now at the library in a circle, we would go around and say what we're grateful for. I call this exercise the A to Z of gratitude. So since we're here on Zoom, so if you would like to share, and we do it in order, one person picks, what they're grateful for, starting with A, then starting with B and C and D and E, until we reach the letter Z. So if you would like to do that, let's start with the letter A. Something that evokes gratitude in you. Thank you.
No, you're not muted. Pam said you're remuted. No, you're not.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, so am I on B? Uh-oh.
No, I didn't hear
A
the A
is
yet.
for Andrea. I say I'm grateful for you.
Oh, thank you, Z. Okay, Pam, then B. What evokes gratitude for you with starting with the word B?
My breath.
Your breath, thank you. And who would like to share what they're grateful for the letters that starts with the letter C?
Cats.
Thank you. And what invokes gratitude with the letter D?
Dogs.
Thank you. And what about the letter E?
Energy.
And F?
Fun.
Fun. And what invokes gratitude starting with the letter G?
Grandchildren.
Thank you. Yes, and good friends. Thank you. Yes. Now what about the letter H?
Health.
Health. And the letter I?
Inspiration.
Thank you. And what about J?
Joy.
Joy. And what about the letter K? Kindred spirits. Thank you. There was somebody else? Okay, so now we're moving on to the letter L. What invokes gratitude starting with the letter L?
Longevity.
Thank you. Yes, and you also put love in the chat. And what about the letter M?
Mothers.
Mothers, yes. And N?
Nuts.
Nuts. And what about the letter O?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Thank you. And P?
Peanuts.
Peanuts. And how about the letter Q?
Oh.
Yeah. Quiet times.
Quiet. Yes, Z put that in the chat too. And what about R?
Rest.
Yes. And S?
Sunshine.
T?
Leader.
U? Oh, yeah, splendor. Yes, U, umbrellas. What about the letter V?
Vigor.
W?
Warmth.
And X?
Xerox copies.
Yes, And why? Yeah, Z put youth in the chat. And finally, the letter Z.
Z-Baird.
It seems to be a theme here. We're ending our we're ending our Z's with the
And
Z.
Zoom. I'm grateful for Zoom.
Yes, the magic of Zoom. Thank you. So this is just also something that, you know, if you feel like you're distracted and you're scattered, and Zen, yes, Mary, to you know, if you want to practice, you can just take a sheet of paper and then just write down the letters A to Z, and then next to it write what comes up for you, what brings you gratitude, what brings you joy, or any other category or sensation that you choose to practice. It's really nice. Another question that you can also ask yourself is throughout the day, it's just like, where is my mind now? Especially when you feel like a sense of disconnection, or you feel very distracted or overwhelmed, you know, just use this question, where is my mind now? To bring it back, to get you back into present moment, into here and now. Because the mindfulness, it's really about being present. It's being in the here and now. And just giving you an opportunity to redirect your attention and your focus. Also to think about, you know, you can also, if it's like, where is my mind now? You can also use this question, you know, is my mind full, or am I mindful? And just think about, you know, as we did at the beginning of our time together in our exercise, you know, if the mind is overflowing with thoughts or ideas, how can you just, you know, redistribute that and just put it on that proverbial shelf, on that table, on that list, maybe even type it into your phone so that you can create a little bit more space for yourself, and that not all the thoughts are running the show and bringing you into all these circles. Maybe also thinking about, you know, especially if you have, you know, intentions or goals or something that you're working on and that you would like to achieve, that just to see that every endeavor, every journey starts with the first step.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one step, one foot in front of the other. And what I like to use is also just to remind myself, you know, it's just for today. But sometimes just for today, you know, the 24 hours can be very long. So I break it down just for this moment, just for this afternoon, just for this morning, just for this evening. And even if that's too much, just for this hour. And if that is too much, then it's just for this minute. And if that minute is too much, then it's just for this breath. Bring myself back. And to use that, and then you can always start over again, and then you just string one breath next to the other instead of climbing Mount Everest all at once. And just taking a moment now as we're coming to the end of our time together, and just noticing how you're feeling now, reviewing and reflecting the exercises that we did together, starting with checking in with ourselves, hitting the pause button, putting, you know, what was too much or what was not necessary right now, to the shelf, to the table, to the list. Taking a moment to stop. Reminding yourself that the stop stands for stop, it's the S. T, take a breath. O, to observe. And P, to pause. Or in case you are in front of a literal stop sign, in the streets, then to proceed from this new sense of awareness. What we then did was to connect with our 5 senses. First with the sense of sight, then the sense of touch, hearing, smell, and taste. We then went to connect with the breathing, making our exhales longer than the inhales, using the 5-8 technique, as I call it, inhaling to the count of 5, exhaling to the count of 8, including the element of touch, pairing the breath with the touch. What we then did was to pair our breath with the words, I am here now. Inhale to I, exhale to am. Inhale to here, exhale to now. We then returned to the focus point that we chose doing the exercise when we connected for our senses. Taking a moment to sit with that object or thing that we chose, become present, notice it and describe its texture and how it is, and then also how it makes us feel, and sit with that emotion for a while. Becoming present, using that as a tool. Also works beautifully for doing dishes, by the way, or folding laundry. If you need to sneak in some mindfulness into everyday life.